Hello, my name is Noriaki Fukuyasu. I work for the Linux Foundation. Thank you for joining my session. Today I will be talking about, let me share my screen first. Today I will be talking about documentation, specifically the localization of AGL documents. So the title of my talk is Let's Make AGL Documents Available in Any Languages. So this is what what I want to talk today. So AGL documents are mostly written in English, while the developers and users of AGLs are, I think, largely non-English, non-native English speakers. So they're from countries like Japan, Germany, and maybe like France and others. I think the English speakers, the native English speakers, is actually a minority. And also, sometimes the documents and meeting minutes are written in Japanese language, which is even worse for non-Japanese speakers. We all are able to, understand English. However, I think the vast majority of community members are not understanding Japanese at all. So, writing something in Japanese is actually, I guess, make it difficult for a community to function. So how technologies, today's technology can actually address this issue? What are the tools we can take advantage of? And also, above all, how can we make the localization work fun and productive? So typically, the reason why localization is not really popular work within the community is I think localization is not exciting work. So by making it fun and productive work, I think there will be more active translation, active localization work will happen in community. That's something I really hope. So to get into the localization, I think it is beneficial to understand what is the nature of localization work. If you take a look at the figures, these figures on the left, so this is the today's localization work. Okay, so localization can be divided into two pieces, two components. One is the interpretation, and the other is translation. While interpretation requires actually specialty, high value added work. That means for technology industry, there are certain new terms, certain like a new terminology, and also some terminology that has been existed, however, translated differently. So for those terminologies, we need an interpretation. We need some someone with the specialty to assign the right local language, local words. That's interpretation. And the other is translation. And translation part requires only language skill. So it's a lower value work. So this doesn't involve very specific AGL terminology or not specific technical terms. So you can see that translation and localization can be divided two different characteristics of the components. So if that's so, what needs to be done in the future is interpretation needs to be done by a human because this requires a specialty. Someone who understands AGL needs to assign the right local language to the new and specific terminology. However, translation this requires only language skill. So this can be replaced by machine. That's what we need to do. So what we need is open and common platform for open source community to be able to replace the translation part with the tools and machines. So by doing this, we should be able to make the localization work a lot easier, and also this should make the our translation work a lot more fun. So that's what we want to do. So to make that happen, what we need is first of all, everyone use tools to translate and share the translation memory. This is the important part. Share the translation memory. So tools is not like something like words and open office, or not that kind of tools. But we need to use the specific tools that we can actually share the translation. Actually, we can keep the translation memory, generate the translation memories and share the memory. That's one thing. And the second, we would like to train the machine translation engine that is optimized for AGL and open source industry. So there are a lot of the translation engines out there. You should be able to use Google Translation for free of charge. But Google Translation is more like a general purpose translation engine. So, for example, if you try to translate solution with the Google Translation, what Google will say will be it's solution as the like a salty water or something. You basically solution can be salty water, or the liquid that include the other elements. But in IT industry, solution is the it's a solution, right? Solution to solve the customer's problem, customer's issues. So to actually avoid that kind of the difficulty, we would like to train the machine translation engine that is optimized for our usage. That's the second thing we would like to do. And third, we would like to build a mindset and process that the translation will have to be done by the community and never do it alone. And also share the result of the translation. This mindset and process is actually probably the most important part and most difficult part to achieve, because it's actually quite easy to just translate it locally, by themselves. But that actually doesn't that will probably solve their issue at one moment. But for the longer run, for the longer perspective, do it together and share the result will help everyone to do the translation a lot easier in the future. So we need to make sure we will do the translation not by do it by alone, but translate with the community. So these are the three things we'd like to achieve to make the translation fun and productive. So I mentioned about translation memory in the previous page. So the next topic is, what is it? What is the translation memory and why it matters? So I took explanation from Wikipedia. It says translation memory is a database that stores the segments, which can be sentences, paragraphs, or sentence-like units, like headings, titles, or elements in the list that have previously been translated in order to aid human translators. So that's the translation memory. That's what the translation memory is. So translation memory can be in the form of the picture in the right-hand side. That's the translation memory. I actually took from our data. And there's an industry, and also there's an industry standard for the file format called TMX, Translation Memory Exchange. And that will actually enable us to share the result of translation with others, regardless of the tool they might use. So this is one good news for everyone. And the benefits of using translation memories, first of all, translation tool will translate the same sentence. So once again, translation memory can be sentences, paragraphs, sentence like units. So those things can be automatically translated by using the translation memories. Automatically translated in the same way we translated before. So we don't have to do the same sentences over and over. That's one good thing. And also, because of that, specific terminologies will be translated into the same local language. So if you translate one thing in certain way, then that translation will be repeated over and over. So in other words, we can avoid one word to be translated into two different ways. So this is one really good benefit of using translation memory. And also, we can also set the translation rules by the community. So, maybe a community would like to use certain words for capital letter, or maybe the community would like to use space in certain case. So, that's the translation rules set by the community. We can implement that in rules into translation memory. So by doing that, the community will be able to translate the document under the same translation rule community defines. So these are the kind of benefit of using translation memories. So what to do with the translation memories? If we use the translation memory, what's our work would like? So the picture here is the ideal process. So first of all, we get the community translation memory from somewhere like a GitHub. Then translate by using the translation memory. Then by doing the translation, we will do a new translation, right? New words, new paragraphs, new sentences. Then we share the new translation memory with community. Then merge the new translation memory with the existing translation memory. Then update the community translation memory. Then once again, that updated community translation will be used by the new translation work. By doing this, the people who does the new translation, they don't have to repeat this the previous work someone has done. So here I'm saying by repeating this process over and over, the community will get more and more translation memories and less duplicated translation. That's one really good benefit of using translation memories. So I think you all now understand the benefit of using the translation memories. So what you should do to actually do that kind of work? There has to be a tools, right? So I'm going to explain what are the available tools that you can actually use to take advantage of the translation memories. So first of all, this is actually a really popular tool called Omega T. So this is an open source translation tool, and this is I mentioned that there is a translation memory format called TMX, but actually there are many different variety of translation memory formats such as TTX, TXML, and others. So this Omega T is compatible with a variety of translation memory formats. And also, this tool able to translate over 30 different document formats, such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, HTML, open document format, and MediaWiki, and others. And also, this tool will have interface with popular machine translation engines such as Google Translation and DeepL and others. So um, uh, what this means is basically, if when you do a translation, you connect Omega T with Google, for example, Google Translation. Then Omega T will talk to Google Translation and automatically do the translation uh, for you. So and keep the translation memory as well. So this is one good benefit Omega T has. And also this tool works well for group works. So you can actually use this tool by the community. Community is a collaborative work. But there's one downside. So this tool is actually kind of difficult tool to actually get used to it. So I recommended actually several people to use this Omega T, but some people actually didn't actually use it because it's quite difficult to actually get used to it. And the other tool I would like to touch upon is textual translation editor. So this is an online tool provided by a National Institution of Information and Communication Technology. We call it NICT. So NICT is it's a Japanese government agency. They are doing the research and development funded by Japanese government and do the R&D in the field of mostly telecommunication area. And they do, and they have been doing interesting work for machine translation. And this tool is outcome of their research. And this tool is not open source tool, but anyone can actually use this translation editor for free. And the good part is the license term is very clear. So the term of use on this Textra is clearly saying that open source community is able to use this tool and share the result with others. While other translation engines like Google and other commercial tools are unclear about using it and share it with others. It's actually they don't they don't say you cannot do it, but it actually doesn't say you can actually do it either. So it's very unclear. But this Textra tool is actually clearly mentioned that open source community is able to take advantage of this engine and share the outcome of the translation with others. That's one good thing about this tool. And this behind this translation editor, there's a machine translation engine, as I mentioned. So you can basically machine translate of your content. And one good thing about this tool is no need to install software on your computer. So the previous tool, Omega T, you will have to install the tool, and in some cases you will find the difficulty to actually make it work. But this Textra tool is online tool, so you don't have to install anything. And also, this is capable to translate many different file formats, just like Omega T. And one good thing Omega T doesn't have it, but this tool is capable to use WYSIWYG mode. So you can translate the Word document or even HTML as you see on your screen. And the other thing, this good thing is automatically merge the translation memories in the engine and get trained if everyone use this. So many open source community will use this tool. Then this engine will be trained more friendly for open source users, open source community users. And downside, there's one downside, which is the this tool is not the best tool for group translation. So if you want to use this tool for community work, collaborative work, this tool will have some difficulty. So these are the two tools I would like to recommend people to use. So Omega T and texture translation editor. So my recommendation is actually this texture translation editor. This is actually a really good tool, and the outcome of the translation is actually really good. And I would like to show you one case study of community translation, which is by the Hyperledger, one of the Linux Foundation's project, Hyperledger's Japanese documentation working group. So there is under the Hyperledger project, there is a document translation working group, and they are actually using the scheme which I explained, in the previous slides. So people translate it and keep the translation memories and share translation memories. So they actually do that, but the group is only partly use the translation memory, and the translation memory is actually maintained on the GitHub, but not to fully use this scheme, but partly. The reason why is it is actually not easy to actually share the translation memory and the merge the new memories into the existing memories. So today it is simply not easy to share the translation memory. This is what we learned from this work. It is not easy to share the translation memories and maintain it at one location. So this is a big challenge we are currently facing. So we are going to, at the Linux Foundation Japan office, we are going to make one step forward to remove this needle of localization community. So as I mentioned, NICT has developed the machine translation engine tool called Textra. And they allow us to actually implement that Textra software, Textra package, onto the Linux Foundation's server. So by doing that, we can have all our projects, not only AGL but other projects, to use the this translation engine for their localization work, and make this engine really optimized for open source usage. So, and also we by letting people use this engine, we are able to build an ecosystem around this machine translation. Like someone might develop the open source tool for that is that will automatically translate the content in the CMS, or maybe someone will develop the tool who can actually automatically work with the Git repository, or maybe maybe someone might develop the tool to interact with the instant messaging tool or social media and so on. So we can by the Linux Foundation to host this software, we should be able to build this kind of ecosystem. So the value of using optimized machine translation engine is something like this. So this is the figure. This is the picture I have shown in the previous slide. This is the ideal translation process within the community. But without machine translation, the work like share the new translation memory with the community and merge the translation memory and update the community translation memory needs to be done all by manually. But with the machine translation engine, with the optimized machine translation engine, these three steps will be automated. This is actually a big value for the community. So, I would like, this is not going to be happening tomorrow, but this will probably take a few more years. But if we use the tool properly, and also if we implement the good process that everyone can work together, we should be able to make the translation work more fun and more productive. But I mean, tool is really important. But after all, the people matters most in order for us to localization work fun and more productive. So what we need is within the community, we need to build a mindset and the process to share the translation results and memories. So and the other thing is we need to make the community localization can become more fun work. To do that, we need to learn through local. We need to I guess promote this work. It can be more fun work because first of all, learning through the localization. We can if you do the localization, this is actually a good opportunity to learn the technology. So that's one benefit the translator can actually get. And the other benefit is we can actually collaborate with others by doing the translation together, and this will make the translation work more fun. And also we can avoid doing the I guess low value added work, and we can replace that part with the machine, and we can focus on high value added work. And this is actually the really interesting part for the even the developers. And having said so, I've been saying a lot of things about the tool we have to use and the processes we have to take. But actually, we already have a tentative solution at AGL. So machine translation is now available at the AGL conference. You can actually. So if you go into the AGL conference, you can actually see the translation button, and you can actually do the translation. This is one actually a good thing. But this is only, I guess, the beginning. This will not keep the translation memories. And also this is the there's a commercial tool behind it, so people we will have to pay for this translation work. But at least this is something. This is something we are starting. So this is one very positive thing to make the AGL information available in many different languages. Anyway, so if you're interested in making the translation and localization work more fun and productive, please join the collaborative translation meetup. This is for a Japanese meetup, but certainly non-Japanese speaking people can actually join the meetup. We can share the slides and information potentially in English languages as well. And also, you can reach me out at my Twitter account, Nori_Fukuyasu. And one final word I would like to leave you with. Universal community translators, unite and share the translation memories. Thank you very much.